Thank you for watching this Last Mile Profits video.
Gary and I reinvent the postbox in this episode. Watch on to find out more.
Last Mile Profits is brought to you by Parcel Pending by Quadient.
Gary, we know how difficult it is in the postal world right now. There isn't a week that you don't read about wage issues, strikes, etc. And PostNL have done something quite revolutionary. They started getting rid of postboxes. Actually, to be honest, I think it's not just them. What's your take on it?
Well, at first it seems kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it? That, you're struggling for volume, so the best plan is to make it harder for people to put stuff in the post. It doesn't really sort of reek of common sense. But as we know from all our experience, stop cost, as the carriers call it, the cost of a driver going to a location, putting the handbrake on, getting out, walking up to a post box, opening the door, potentially finding something or not, walking back to the vehicle, starting the engine again, and hopefully his electric motor, moving off. All of these things have a cost. And if more and more frequently when you're doing that, you're opening the door and seeing absolutely nothing, then you do have to wonder why you put the box there in the first place. So bizarrely, I can kind of see some sort of sense in it. It might not be the smartest solution, but I do see the sense in it.
Well, I think particularly if you put it in the context of other things that are happening. So I know that a while ago, Latvian Post started adding letter boxes to their lockers. I think you mentioned something that you were looking at in the UK as well.
No, actually, Quadient are working with Australia Post on a smart post box. So we've got some in pilot in Australia, and this is bringing some of the technology that's very well established in the locker market, such as calling the carrier to the locker when there's something to collect, and doing some basics of tracking. Instead of it being a dumb box, I mean, I used to know the date when the first post box, which was a British invention, was put on the street. It was hundreds of years ago. And the technology has changed not one bit. In fact, many of those old sort of Victorian and Georgian post boxes are still there. No one's really updated that infrastructure. Now, if you imagine if you had an infrastructure where it said every time a post box is used, it told you, and you only went and collected from it when it was necessary, then perhaps you're starting to see a little bit of optimization. And that's part of the journey that Australia Post have embarked on.
That's a bit of an upgrade. I remember the old red post boxes where you had a sort of, a metal sort of thing that you put in and it shows when the collection was made, and that was it.
You don't need to remember it. You can just go to the UK and look at any post box. They're still there.
Still there.
Inside the door, you've got a little.
You had the same problem. What do you call it?
5 or 6 little metal tokens, and when you go and empty it on a Tuesday, you take the Tuesday out and put the Wednesday token in, so if somebody comes by, they know not that their mail won't be collected till Wednesday. We do that for UPS, actually. We tell them that if they've missed that day's collection on the locker, and it won't be collected till the following day. So it serves the same purpose. But it's no little bits of metal being shuffled about. It's on the screen and it's all done automatically.
Well, I actually think this is really cool because I see a couple of aspects. First of all, in a theoretically effective model, you've got a postie, if it's a post office run machine, APM, who's going there anyway. So we completely agree. Stop costs are the thing that are key. And if the guy or girl is there anyway to pick up some parcels, then it's not such a big deal to get particularly because it's going to be a post bag of mail, probably, that you can just take out of the letterbox. So I actually really like this idea. I think it's simple. It's an upgrade because, as you said, there can be electronic information. But you know what? I don't think you even need it, because if you have somebody coming to the APM once or more often per day anyway, they can just check when they come, take what's in there. So I think it's a really smart way of leveraging the fact that the APM, the parcel locker, effectively has become a sort of replacement for the traditional post office in terms of a go-to place.
Yeah, exactly. It's fascinating that when we've done the integration with Royal Mail, so Royal Mail are part of the Quadient network in the UK, one of the requirements, and I was really shocked by this, was that we can scan stamps, postage stamps. Now, again, there's a few unique features of the UK market. One of them is that a few years ago, they've barcoded every single postage stamp that's sold in the UK. So now we can actually accept stamped mail to be dropped off in the parcel locker. So you can scan a large letter, the important document at the locker, drop it into the Dropbox, and off it goes. Now, it doesn't pick up much tracking from there, but we do acknowledge a receipt, and you'll get a receipt for it. You've even got the option to put in your email address and get an email receipt that you posted the item. So there is, I think, a convergence of technology, if you like, where there's delineation between posts doing what carriers do, carriers doing what posts do, lockers doing what postboxes should do, etc. So, and eventually, I suppose what you're going to get to is like a unified customer experience, that high bar of expectation of service and technology can be met no matter what service you're accessing.
I think you're right, Gary. We're doing a lot of work in various geographies now where posts want to combine because historically mail was so big that it warranted a separate stream. At the moment it's in decline, and I think that this is a perfect example of how you can leverage new technology to actually create value for everyone. So, what would be great is if any posties or decision makers within postal organizations have got some good experience, please comment below. I think it's a really cool way of innovating, leveraging assets that are there anyway. And it would be great to have some examples. And hopefully, if we do a retake of this video in about a year's time, we'll be able to say that, throughout Europe, there are places where this has been used. And Australia, I gather, as well. Given
Yeah, we're hoping the pilot will get beyond the pilot stage. So far the feedback is pretty positive. So let's see how that goes.
Great. Well, look, Gary, this was a good one. I like this topic. Let's see where it takes us. Hopefully everyone else liked it. And if you did like it, please click the like and subscribe buttons. And looking forward to seeing you, Gary, and our audience at our next video.
Last Mile Profits is brought to you by Parcel Pending by Quadient.